Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald here at CEDIA Expo CIX 2025. Happy to be joined by Buzz Delano, who is Principal Consultant of Delano Associates. Thank you so much, Buzz, for joining me today. Good to chat with you.
You're welcome, Dan. I'm really happy to be here. Thanks for the invitation. It's an exciting week at CEDIA Expo.
It sure is, it sure is. And we're also going to be talking in a moment about Delano News Advance, of which you're Executive Editor. But before we even get into that, why don't you just kind of talk a little bit about your background in residential AV, your background with CEDIA, why you're here at CEDIA Expo, Commercial Integrator Expo.
Be happy to do that. Well, like many of us in this profession, which now is smart home, and in the past it was more audio, video, and entertainment based, it's really expanded a lot. So I've seen a number of generations going back just to traditional audio and home theater. So I've been in the business about 30 years. I've been doing trade shows for many, many years. I worked for a couple of manufacturers in the industry, and I've always been amazed by the progress that the consumer electronics profession, the pace that it moves, the technology adoption, has always been fascinating to me. So that's what keeps me enthusiastic and interested in the business. And by the late 1990s, I got very involved in the custom installation business, namely CEDIA. And at that particular point, I found that blending entertainment products with architecture, in-wall loudspeakers, in-ceiling loudspeakers, distributed audio systems was really fascinating to me. I'm a music lover, I'm a music listener, I enjoyed that. And I paid attention to the channel largely because of audio, but over the years, and especially when I founded Delano Associates Consultancy years ago, I really wanted to help drive the whole industry forward as technology was changing, as more professional alliances and trades aligned with the custom installation business. And here we are, there's a tremendous evolution of design, custom builders, kitchen and bath technology, furniture, decor that are all complementing audio, video, home theater, networking, wireless, windows, shades. It's just amazing to me the technology trend that's happening even more rapidly in the profession. And the fact that the whole industry now is really regarded as the smart home profession is really exciting to me.
There's no doubt about it, and I think you're quite right. When you think about a show like CEDIA Expo CIX, when you think about the broad industry that the event serves, it has really become kind of the smart home industry, the connected technology industry, so to speak.
That is very, very true. So one of the things I decided to do more recently, in continuing my consultants, I was looking to do something else to broaden my horizons in the channel. I'm blessed with a lot of relationships with manufacturers, smart home integrators, representatives, distributors, influencers, other professionals in the trade, and I thought what would be helpful for my business, but also relates to help this industry continue to move forward and communicate cross-channel about it, best practices, thought leadership, was to create what I call Delano News Advance. And that's to advance the smart home profession. So it's a new website-based business where I'm going to be featuring interviews and articles and other type of content for and from integrators, manufacturers, and other professionals in the channel, because I really believe this is an important industry. It's an essential part of people's lives. Any part of home technology for comfort and entertainment is a standard part of everybody's lives, really, no matter what level of income you're at. Now, this channel continues to really grow and aspire into luxury level channels, which is great, but everybody at any level, once they own their first home, they want technology in the home. And they want it to look really nice too, which I like. You know, things are becoming invisible, things are looking better, things are working more seamless. You know, we want all of this technology for sound and comfort and shading and whatnot to simply be a tap on our phone. And that's what the smart home profession is really excellent at, is taking all of those systems and the complexities behind the scenes and making it simple for the homeowner. And I want to do my part to help promote that within the trade and some outreach to the homeowner community.
So as far as Delano News Advance goes, is part of the raison d'etre, part of the mission, not just to elevate and serve the smart home industry, but also to empower integrators, give them the news they need, to give them insights, business enablement resources, essentially to give them resources to enable them to be profitable, to be successful. Is it going to have that raison d'etre to it as well?
Yes, absolutely. And one of my features will be interviews with integrators talking to other integrators. learning from their peers, sharing best practices, because all ships rise in that way.
Yes.
So the integrators, the smart home professionals, if you will, that's really the focus point of Delano News Advance. The manufacturers are going to play a role in it, they're very important, but I believe to really advance the profession, the group of people in the trade that touch the consumer, touch the homeowner, interact with the designers, interact with the production builders, the custom home builders, the architects, the client reps, those are the smart home integrators or the smart home professionals. And that community of them, who I've known for decades, they enjoy talking about their trade with their peers.
They do.
Because everybody wants this profession to continue to grow and succeed and expand. So the integrators are going to have a particularly strong focus at Delano News Advance.
I think that really is critically important, and it's something that the commercial integrator takes to heart and CE Pro takes to heart for that matter. I think a lot of times integrators are so busy working in their business, there isn't necessarily as much time spent working on the business, thinking about best practices and mind sharing and how to enable themselves to be future-proofed and that kind of thing. Essentially just reimagine their success so they're prepared not just for the present, but also for the future. And it sounds like you're seizing on that need.
Yes, I am, and I'm fortunate that I've been in the profession for so long. I've been able to have a really strong depth of relationships. I've gotten a lot of support from the initiatives I've taken up in the industry. I served the CEDIA board for 8 years, a number of years ago, so I'm very active in the profession. I've been on a number of volunteer committees with CEDIA and some other groups. I have relationships with integrators, the buying groups. So I see the opportunity for me to pull a lot of knowledge and relationships together to help move things forward as well. And quite honestly, personally, I like to do that. I like to be a connector of ideas and personalities and characters, because that's how the industry is built. I'm sure that's that way in other professions as well, but my profession is the smart home or residential technology trade. And we all really dig this because it's cool stuff.
Yeah.
Whether it's great sounding music or an amazing, comfortable home theater or an amazing kitchen loaded with technology that's at the tap of your phone, and whether it's things you're cooking or espresso that you're making, it's all fun stuff.
It is.
Some of my personal friends and people that really don't have exposure to this profession like those of us in it do, when they see and realize some of the things that I'm involved with and this trade does, they're like, that's a really fun business. And it truly is. Everybody works hard. Mm-hmm. There's days that it's a little tougher than others, but we're having a good time with the gear and the technology and the design aspect of it. And the fact that the design community is becoming more aware of the smart home profession is really important, and I also want to help drive that.
Speaking of having fun with the gear and the technology and the people and the personalities for that matter, we are of course here at CEDIA Expo, CIX. This is the grand gathering of the residential AV, resi-mercial, pro AV community. I mean, this is where it's at. We have thousands and thousands of people with us. It's really kind of that three-legged stool, isn't it? The technology, it's also the networking with all the great people in the industry, and the education aspect, which is more robust really than ever this year. Do you want to talk about that three-legged stool and why this continues to be a really, really important event for this industry?
Yes, I would identify the three-legged stool to summarize all that up. Three things. When it comes to CEDIA Expo in this particular community, it's first of all, it's about the power of networking, getting together with your industry peers at the trade show where the industry comes together. That's important. Seeing products, meeting with your vendors, building relationships, working with your local sales representatives, for example. The next thing about the event is really super important is the education platform. And CEDIA, the Trade Association for Smart Home Professionals, has long been founded on education, and whether it's education for how to run the business, how to find the right employees, how to take care of your employees, how to provide great customer service, system design, technology, installation, rack building. The education offering by CEDIA historically has always been very robust, and it always adapts and updates to the changes in the technology, the changes in the generations. So I'm big on that. So the power of networking, exposure to technologies and ideas in the industry, and education, and then of course all of us coming together just to realize how important the profession is. That's what I see as being really powerful about CEDIA Expo.
Yeah, and it really is a powerful and important profession. I want to second that, because whether you're talking about residential and custom home integration, or whether you're talking about commercial, we're facilitating experiences, aren't we? We're generating smiles, we're making memories, we're giving people those ineffable warm feelings when they have a technology-infused experience. It's something you really can not only feel good about, but feel proud of, isn't it?
It is. It is a source of pride. And to see it becoming more and more commonplace at all different home value and income levels, that's what excites me. It's always going to be a specialized application to some extent, but as more and more people are finding ways to have wirelessly controlled lighting, something as simple as lighting is exciting. Distributed audio, so for me, the technology advances, the professional alliances advance, the high-end, the luxury level services and goods always advance, but at the same time, the general notion of smart homes is really becoming part of the mainstream. And that makes life easy for people, and it is fun, and it is enjoyable. It's not just, watching a big television. You can have a really nice experience at home of comfort and entertainment if you have a smart home and all of the different services and products that go into it. And of course, the most important thing there is the relationship between the homeowner and their local smart home integrator, who will lead the project. And the best smart home professionals, they have the understanding of how to work with the design community, how to work with builders, and at certain levels, how to work with client reps and things like that. The smart home integrators are often the first ones in on the project to begin to do the work and plan it, and they're usually the last ones out, just cleaning things up and making sure everything is working just right. So the relationship between a smart home pro and the homeowner is usually a very powerful relationship.
And it is very much a relationship-driven business. And I like what you're saying. It's not purely technologies for technology's sake. And all of us can wow over how cool the tech on the CEDIA Expo CIX show floor is. But it's technology in service of an outcome, technology in service of a feeling, technology in service of something that is going to make someone's life better or easier or more fun.
Yes, very true. We want people's life at home to be more enjoyable.
Yeah.
From an entertainment and a comfort standpoint, and convenience. And right there, convenience is probably the thing that's accelerating most over all the years I'm talking about. A lot of the stuff you could do in the past, but it was harder to make it happen. It would take more steps. Everything is becoming much more convenient. We're all used to picking up our mobile phone and tapping something and seeing someone on FaceTime, or making a call or a text, or reading a mail, or beginning to play some music or whatnot. The smart home applications are getting that way too, so it's becoming easier, and that's exciting.
It sure is. It sure is. So Buzz Delano, again, thank you so much for joining me, Principal Consultant of Delano Associates and now Executive Editor of Delano News Advance.
Yes.
For people who want to follow you, learn more about your company, learn more about Delano News Advance, what is the best way they can do that?
Well, there's a YouTube channel for Delano News Advance, and it's at Buzz Delano. So you can find me on YouTube there. You'll begin to see various content there and interviews with integrators. And of course, DelanoDNA.com.
Thank you again so much, Buzz. Of course, you can find us at commercialintegrator.com and cepro.com. Having a great time here at CEDIA Expo CIX 2025 in Denver with several thousand of our closest friends. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure.